Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Mirko FX and this is my first video that's going to be trading related. So if you're wondering why my channel has so many subscribers, it's because I used to have different content that I uploaded back in the day, but I decided to switch my content and focus on this stuff. So we'll just get straight into it. So this session is going to be me backtesting a strategy. As you can see right here, I've been backtesting this over months, especially starting from January of 2024, and you can see how it's been looking profitable for us so far. I have data on this, and if you're wondering why I'm doing this is to not only help me to be disciplined, but to also encourage me as I move forward in my trading journey to look back and to see how far I've gotten. So let's get straight into it. So the strategy is going to be mechanical. I'm going to be looking for 15-minute supply and demand zones, which I'll explain for moving forward in this backtesting session. And these supply zones need to result in a break-off structure of some form. It doesn't matter what type, how big the break-off structure is, but as long as it breaks structure, it would be solid. I also have my waiting for retracement to the supply or demand zone, and then once price reaches the zone, I'm looking to drop down to the 3-minute time frame and then enter on the first break up or down of which sides. So let's get straight into it. The backtesting session would be taking place on USD JPY, and it's going to be strictly following the minute 15 and the minute 3 time frames. So we'll be looking at, since I'm done the first 6 months, I'll be looking at July 2024. The starting balance will be 20,000 because that's how much I'm trading at the moment on my prop firm accounts. So this is to build my confidence as well as to help me access the profitability of the strategy. So let's get straight into it. So here we are. So if you're wondering what software I use for my backtest, it's called Traders Casa. They're free, but then if you do not want ads, it's just like $3 a month. So that's what I pay for no ads, and it's really good. That's what I've been using for most of my backtesting, and it's been going really good so far. So let's dive straight into it. Let me just adjust the time real quick. And we're on the 15-minute time frame, so we saw here that it needs to be on the 15-minute, and then we'll be trading just supply and demand zones. Nothing too complicated. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and had advice from a lot of mentors and people who have taught me what I know so far, and it is always highlighted to keep your trading very simplistic and not difficult to follow. So that's what we're going to do. So if you're wondering what a demand or a supply zone is, just basically any area where there's aggressive buying or aggressive selling. And as we can see here, this is an example of a demand zone. So we have a demand zone right here. So the last bearish candle before an aggressive buyout would be a demand zone, and then the large bullish candle before an aggressive sell would be a supply zone. So looking back at price usually tends to react at these zones because there's a theory where if the last candle that was bearish before an aggressive buy, the institutions that were involved in the trade would like to see price reach for these levels to get a cheaper price to then buy price up to make a good profit. So therefore, as a retail trader or as a funded trader, we look to target these zones to enter our buy or sell to be able to be profitable. So let's get straight into it. So we have our first demand zone here. So I'll be playing price to see how fast it could reach. If it doesn't, we just move on to the next zone. So also, I just something that I need to add to my confluence is a fair value gap. So I like to see some form of fair value gap before the zone, or what I mean is after the zone. So let's watch. Alright, so far price isn't showing anything much. This is the Asian session, and you might be wondering why I'm back testing these sessions. Is because I'm trying to assess the profitability, so like the win rate, the lose rate, the break even rate of the strategy. So I don't mind the time as long as I'm executing when I see an opportunity. In the back test, it will give me a rough idea on what to expect when I enter a trade in terms of probabilities. So we can see that price has left the zone, so we'll just be focusing on the next break of structure. If you're wondering what a break of structure is any close below a previous swing point. So we can see how the swing high price closed above the swing high, so therefore we've broken structure to the upside. We have a demand zone which price reacted off, but obviously you can see that price returned and has sort of mitigated it, but then it didn't break structure. So I'm hoping that price reaches down to this point. If not, we just move on to the next. There we go. So it went past our demand zone, so yeah, we'll be looking to the next demand zone and then see what price does. Oh, look at that wick. That was definitely news. Look at that wick. So we see how price went all the way down and rejected off. So that's a lot of buying pressure. So we'll be looking for another break of structure. There we go. And then another demand zone. So far it's been one day and it's 1:30 p.m. Still no trades, but that's the reality of trading, guys. There we go. So we finally tapped into our first demand zone. Let's move on to the 3-minute time frame. So we can see that here the price actually already gave us the breaker candle. So we'll be moving back and then make sure to enter on this trade and then see how it goes. So on price to go past that point, put our stop loss below the lowest swing low, which is there, and we're targeting a 1:2 risk reward. There we go. Open position. I'll be risking 0.75% of my account balance, and let's see how it goes. So we are 1-to-1. The rule is if price reaches 1-to-1, we move our stop loss to break even, and then we look for what price does. And we see right there that price hits TP. So we move to our wins for July. And the first trade is a win. So that gives us our first net RR of 1:2. That was at around 6 p.m. So I'll be putting down the time. This was around 6 p.m. It's good to document the time so that you know what time your trades are most profitable. So that's the first trade done. Move on to the next. So remember, we're looking for a break of structure to the downside. So this is a break of structure. We've broken structure, but then we broke structure again. Well, not quite, we're still bearish. So let's see what price does. We see that as accumulating, and we're looking for break. There we go. So we get a break of structure. Let me just delete this demand zone and put the new one here. There we go. Let's see what price does. So we're left without us. We move on to the next one. into it again. So let's see how price delivered when it tapped into our demand zone. So we can see here that it reacted off, but it didn't give us a breaker candle. There we go, we finally get our breaker candle. So we put our entry here, put our stop loss at the lowest swing low, put our take profit at 1:2. Very simple, very simple. Open position, risking 0.5%. We went into a bit of drawdown. We stood in drawdown, and then we go into profit. We hit 1:1. We hit 1:1. So based on our rules, we need the stop loss to break even, and then price does what it does at this point. Goes up, goes down, up. Gets really close to our break even, but it doesn't take us out. And then let's see, it heads straight to take profit. So that's our second win for the month of July. It's Tuesday, 4 a.m, which is probably a time where I'll be asleep, but let's see, I'll still document it for the win rate. So 4 a.m, we had another win based on the entry criteria for the strategy. So yeah, we just keep rinsing and repeating, doing the same thing over and over again, regardless of our results. So we have a break of structure to the downside. We've closed below this previous swing low. So now we'll be looking for supply zones. Let's see how price reacts. We also have this little fair value gap. Price taps into our supply zone. We drop to the lower time frame. We wait for a breaker candle. So the first initial one was here where price went below a previous candle, and we have a very nice rejection. We put our stop loss at the lowest low. We target 1:2. Let's just rewind so we make sure we get our entry. Yep, that should do. Put our place, and then we watch price. Oh, that was a nice one. We move our stop loss to break even, and then we look for price to hit our take profit. There it goes, it hits take profit. So it looks like we're up 900 so far. We've had a 3-win streak. July is looking good so far. This was 10 a.m, so I'll just journal this at 10 a.m. And then we just keep doing this over and over and over again, regardless of the results, guys. Always remember to detach from the results of the trade. Just focus on executing the strategy over and over again. There we go. We get another break of structure, but then with this supply zone, there's no fair value gap, so I'm not interested in that. Same with this one. So we're waiting for a supply zone that presents some form of fair value gap, and then we get this one that gives us a fair value gap. So we're gonna mark this out and see what price does. It goes all the way to our supply zone. Let's see if it gave a fake entry. So it went into the supply zone. It failed to give us a breaker candle. So after price violated the supply zone by breaking the supply zone, we are no longer interested. The supply zone becomes invalidated. So there's no trade there. So we still don't have any form of break of structure. So let's wait for a break of structure. There we go. We get a break of structure to the downside, leaving a fair value gap. We take our marker, mark out our supply zone, wait for price to trade into the supply zone and look for entries. We get another one here. I can see we just missed this one. We got another supply zone, leaving a fair value gap. And price tapped into it, gave an entry. Oh, actually it didn't give an entry. Let's see what price does. It taps into it. Wait for an entry. There we go. So if I put a break candle there, put my stop loss at the lowest low, slightly over it, and then target a 1:2, that should have hit take profit very quickly. As simple as that. Take profit. I'm not gonna rewind it. I'm just gonna make sure I journal it. So that'll be at 8:30 p.m. So far, the week is looking really good according to this backtesting session. But let's do one more day, and then I don't want the video to be too long, so that'll be it for the first video. So I'll do one more day at the end of Wednesday. Actually, I'll do one more trade, and at the end of this last trade, this potential one, I'll be ending the video for now. So it didn't give us an entry. Still didn't give us an entry. There we get an entry. So price broke this candle, so that would have been an entry, because we can see this little wick here. Let's see what price does. Stop loss at the lowest low, targeting 1:2. It looks like we're in a bit of drawdown, but who cares? Oh, look at that rejection. So let's see what price does. Gives us a 1-to-1. Move our stop loss to break even, and then we wait for take profit. It gives us that sweet take profit, and then we journal it. This was at 9:51 p.m. So far, that's a nice win streak for the month of July. So far, it's the 2nd of July, and we're already up 1,200. Well, in backtesting, but we all know that will be different in the reality of trading. So yeah, this would be the end of, I know it's a short one, I'm obviously going to continue after this, but this was to make sure I record and make sure I'm always backtesting, because it's a significant part of my journey. So thank you for watching. If you want to leave a like, subscribe, be happy to. I'll also be leaving down links to my Instagram in case you want to contact me for anything. I'm always here to help. But yeah, this is more of a personal journey for me, so it was a nice one. See you guys later. Bye bye.